Finally today, American Magic, after a lot of very high quality sailing, a lot of time on the water, but not much unforeseen tech development, do something which has got me scratching my head. Is it a new boom? It's certainly some sort of new Mainsheet control, and it's certainly development upon what we saw in the previous America's Cup. So let's delve into the details, see what they've got on their back deck. So this is what showed up yesterday. I'll zoom in, and I think the first obvious thing on here, well, there's two obvious things. First of all, this kind of miniature boom thing, which has got a bit of a wrapping around it. Is it a boom? No, I don't think it is a boom at all. And the other obvious thing is we've got this track running across the deck here, as well as the track they had previously at the back of the boat. See what's new, this track and this device, whatever it is, in the center of the boat here. And we got clues to what's going on by what isn't on the boat anymore. So first of all, this is the old carrier for their Mainsheet system, and we still got the two rams for each mainsail skin, so the two outdoors effectively. But what's missing from this carrier is the Mainsheet ram, the main ram. So that's not there anymore, and this is the point where that would attach to, and we can see the hydraulics going into this as well. So basically the ram from there is now sat in this kind of padded carrier. But that doesn't really explain what this secondary track is for. And I think we have to really go back and look at the development of this system from what American Magic started off with, the refinements they've made, and how they've ended up where they are. The other thing that's missing from this that was present at the start, and we'll flick over to that photo, this is from when American Magic were starting their campaign. You can see the hydraulic rams are attached to either side of this wing. So they've got a ram there, a ram there. They are no longer present in the latest picture, which is this one. So those rams can't be seen on the deck. And if we jump into the timeline, they've actually been missing for a while. So this picture was taken right at the start of the campaign, the 13th of October. And again, here's a better picture of these rams which attach to hydraulics running into them, ram attaching here. Now, what do these rams do which are now missing? Because that'll tell us probably what this new track is doing. So this whole Mainsheet system that American Magic put on the boat was effectively an imitation of Emirates Team New Zealand. And what they had is this big Mainsheet ram in the clew of the sail, two separate rams for the travellers, and they also had, you can kind of see it just here, the little wings coming out from the mast with a hydraulic ram on and a line which attached to the clew. And what these two hydraulic rams do is link the rotation of the mast to the traveller. But what they also can do is, as well as rotating the mast against the traveller and letting the mast rotate with the traveller, they can also, if they both compress, actually increase the sheeting angle on the back of the sail. You can see this is the line that those rams attach to at the foot of the sail, and that line, if this primary Mainsheet, the rope is eased and this line's pulled on, it kind of increases the sheeting angle on the clew of the sail separately to the outhauls. So quite a clever system, except it was all on the deck and a bit of an aerodynamic hindrance, but it worked well, enabled them to lower the deck and create extra sail area down below the mast rotation point, get that tunnel deck, and one of the factors which helped them win the previous America's Cup. So the American Magic system is effectively, or was previously, an imitation of this. And here you see it actually fully rigged up. You can see this hydraulic ram, the line coming out of it and into the clew of the sail, and I think it attaches basically down here. And that's how they were sailing. This is from the 8th, 11th. So if you look, one of the first changes they made to their systems was the arc of this Mainsheet track. So you'll see this one here, this is from the very first day of testing, and it's got this smooth arc. And I think basically this kind of pivoting traveller is made so they can adjust the arc of this track to get it just perfect. You can see they've extended it out with these little metal segments to make this a flatter track than what it was when they first installed it. So that's one of the first neat little refinements they've made to the system. But then they removed this kind of mass rotation system, and that begs the question, well, how are they rotating the mast? Well, I actually think the way of rotating the mast has always been built into the boat as a secondary option. So if we zoom in on this mast foot, yes, you'll see these rams attached to the wing, but there's also attachment points here, here and here, where you can attach it to rams, maybe even possibly these rams, to move the rotation of the mast independently of the traveller movement. And it's a good question of whether you want your mast rotating always with your traveller or independently. There's pluses and minuses to both. First of all, if your mainsail moves with your traveller, then that's one less control to press on the pad. But generally, if you're easing power out, you probably want the entry, the kind of the entry angle of the sail to the wing to stay the same, and just the back leech to open up, which really means you don't want the mast necessarily rotating as the traveller eases to ease wind out your sails. So pluses and minuses, but it looked like this was always made so they could test two alternatives of either linking it to the traveller or not. Next we see this picture, and this is from the end of November, and you can see the rams linking these arms to the clew are no longer there, so they're now doing their mast rotation independent of the clew. So they've actually been sailing without these mast rotation hydraulics for a while, so they're missing, but that doesn't really tell us what this track is doing. And they've changed this track angle, that's been done for a while, so again it doesn't really tell us what's going on in this new boom. Well, one theory put up on the America's Cup website is that this is a way of them drastically changing their sheeting angle. So instead of just pulling down from this track at the back, they can also pull from the forward track as well and get more leech tension. Now that could be an explanation. I'm not sure I'm willing to commit to it, and the reason I'm not willing to commit to that yet is this here very much looks like it's a carrier for something that sits on the deck rather than pulls down to the deck. It looks like a moulding for something, and with a little bit of pivot in it. So I'm not completely convinced. The other thing that makes me question whether this second track is really for holding down significant amount of leech tension is that it's seemingly attached to what is just a deck fairing, whereas this main track is built down into the deck, strapped into the actual hull. So I wonder whether this can really take the loads, or whether it's actually just a car for a carrier for some other system which is sitting within the boom. Whether that's redeploying where the hydraulics sit for certain items, I really don't know. Here's them rigging up for the day, and we'll zoom in. All very dark, and there certainly aren't many clues. Here's a bit of footage of them rigging up. Again, that car is definitely sat within the boom, but not much visible to really go on here. Sailing again, they're all looking in this in this boom, but there's not much I can really see in there. They've got this fairing over the cleat, so you can't even see what's going on. Kind of shrouded this system on the boom as well. It getting up and moving. Again, very hard to see anything. They have definitely put in a patch on the sail near that track, and the way it's moving certainly looks, well, to me it looks powerful, but it looks a little bit sticky. I'll zoom in on this in the managing software, but I'm in the edit now, and as I've really stretched the contrast on this image, and I think I'm getting to what this is doing, but this is a little sleeve cover they've got over, and what's missing from between these two skins now is the master RAM for the main sheet control, which would normally sit between these two outhauls. So what I think they've done is they've pivoted that master cylinder down so it lies on the deck with its forward end where this new patch is on the sail, and it runs back, and the ram is probably now pulling against a block and is pulling down on two tethers which go up to the independent skins. The point of this will be to remove that hydraulic from between the two skins on the leech and put it down on the deck where the sail already fans out. I don't think this track is actually to change the sheeting angle, and looking at the carrier that's on that deck, it looks like it's just holding something, and I think the thing it's holding is the main sheet ram, lowering it down, lowering the center of mass down, removing that equipment from between the leech skins, and yeah, just getting a smoother system. I think that's it, but I'd like to know your theories to what this is as well. Is it really changing the sheeting angles, or is it a carrier for the master ram for the main sheet? Let me know.